everyone. Welcome to Midday Plays. I'm your host, Mindy Hahn, with my sister, Tiffany Mantz, and we are ready to bring you some plays here today. Of course, it was a really nice way, Tiffany, for you to start off, the show, because I don't know, you might have just won both of your parlays that you gave out on the show. So that's a nice start. I'm gonna say that right now. And so your reward was me buying you Buffalo Wild Wings. Have you had any for breakfast this morning?
Not yet, but it will be my lunch. But
Gotcha.
We were very happy. Like Debo pulled it out, got that touchdown after he was like on the ground hurt. We were like, "What the heck?"
Right? We're like, "Oh no! All we need is a touchdown," and we totally have this game. We're sitting there rooting it on.
Yeah.
And of course, our premium pick was on the under in that game, so it was a pretty stressful time again. So you're like, do we want the Niners to get a first down right here and end the game, or do we want them to punt? I mean, what do we want it to do? I mean, their defense was playing well enough that we kind of figured that they would be able to hold the Giants down again, and was happy, to see that they kind of took Daniel Jones out. So they did kind of, wave the white flag there a little bit too.
Yeah, it was fun. But I'm really tired today. I stayed up way too late.
That is true. See, I don't know how the guys on the East Coast do it. Like, honestly, because it's the same thing. Like, we don't go to bed until like midnight, and they're still up at like 1:00, and still have to try to make the day work for them.
Games to start at like 6. So when they have those like double headers or whatever on Monday Night Football, sometimes I'm like, "Oh, I love a 6:00 game."
Right.
That's how you old.
Exactly. But yeah, welcome to our show. Where we're going to go ahead and give you some, parlays, same game parlays, some boosters. Because here at Tony's Picks, we're headed that direction. We're waiting for the programmers to get all of those line feeds in, and then here we are. We're going to bring you some paid for best bets out there, best parlays you can find in the industry. We're ready to bring those to you at Tony's Picks. So we can't wait. So we thought we would start here a little bit early so you'd get comfortable with some of our plays. Because, if you guys have watched us for a while, we're ones that we really never played the parlays much. So we might be doing things a little bit more conservative, but yet we're going to be using your boosters out there on your app to get you, that plus money on some of these plays, right?
Yeah, because we don't want you to leave money on the table. I mean, if you've got free money in your apps, make sure you're using those.
Well, yeah. What did you say? Like MGM is now giving you like 150.
I've currently got like $150 in free bets tonight or tomorrow. So yeah.
All right. Well, you want to start us off with one of your, I'm sure to win, parlays here today.
Yeah. So what I'm looking at for today is, let me find my notes. Jeez, I'm turning into Mindy. I can't read my own handwriting.
Right. Something that you guys don't really want to check out.
I was looking around on the apps, and this is from MGM. I think, again, I know that different states have different things. We are in Iowa, right. So I think a lot of states have MGM Caesars, those big names. So the one I was looking at was from MGM, and they call it the Lions Boost today, and that's going to be on the Lions Boost.
Nice, the Lions Boost for the MGM. Wow.
Yes, the MGM. Oh, my cat's looking at me now.
Great, it's going to pounce on you. Mine's over there, so.
I know, between the two of us, we could have a shelter. Anyway, so it's Wisconsin versus Purdue tonight. Yeah. And the boost is Wisconsin to win and over 54.5, and that's boosted from 175 to 220. Nice. I think that's a good bet to take. Like historically, Wisconsin has won every game against Purdue since 2003, so I think it's like 16 in a row.
Oh my!
I think that it's going to be a pretty close match overall, but if you watched last week, the Wisconsin forced 6 turnovers last week, and then Purdue gave it up 4 times.
Yeah.
So I think that overall, I think Wisconsin's going to probably have the edge there. And then both teams are averaging over 25 points. So I think Badgers are averaging 31.7, I wrote down. So I think that they'll be able to get that over 54.5 too. I think if you mix it some turnovers, it's going to be a high-scoring game.
Yeah, I mean, that's Big Ten football for you right there, right?
Yep.
Forcing those turnovers. And again, that's something like with our modeling, right? We can't, we have a hard time dictating what those turnovers, are going to be like. And so that's like, with our modeling and stuff, when we have like a pick six, unless we're totally on the over, sometimes that totally destroys all of those numbers that you put all of the hard work into. But I like that here. At plus 220 today. So I will definitely be getting some money in there on that. And then what we're going to do here is go to some Major League Baseball, right? We're going to go ahead and head over to not the Angels, but it will be the Mariners versus the Rangers. Now, again, we talked about this, Mariners, they're in this must-win situation as well as the Rangers. Don't get me wrong, but the Rangers they do have the 6-2 advantage over this Mariners team. We know this Mariners team totally gave up with Seawald in their bullpen, and so they tend to kind of struggle a little bit. They're facing Dane Dunning versus It's Miller time versus Mr. Miller today for those pesky Mariners. But what we're going to do is take a look at a same game parlay here in this one, right? So we're going to go ahead and be using a little bit of odd boosters here. We're going to take a look at, it would be DraftKings. So you can go out there and find a same game parlay out there at DraftKings. If that's, one of the bigger ones, you're probably really familiar with that one. But basically, we're going to take a look at some of these lines here. Again, we're going to go ahead, kind of like what we talked about yesterday between the Cardinals and the Brewers, where Mikolas decided to, to just totally give up a 3-run home run to totally bust our run line. But we're going to go with a run line here again today. My modeling has this one a close game. I have it as a 4-4, but I have the Mariners with the edge getting the win here on this one today. But my first play is going to go ahead and be then the plus 3.5 runs on the side of the Mariners. So with this, boosted same game parlay, you can take up to minus 500 odds. So this one's sitting at minus 475. Then, of course, I'm going to take my favorite guy, Julio Rodriguez, to go ahead and get a hit today. He does have a 352 batting average historically versus Dane Dunning. That one's sitting at minus 330. And, of course, he's, been on a crazy hit streak here as of late. And then, of course, I'm going to go ahead and take Dane Dunning to go ahead and get plus 4 Ks versus the Mariners. That's sitting at minus 400. Now, the Mariners have the most strikeouts in all of the Major League Baseball. They have 2 guys now that have hit the 200 strikeouts for the season. Good job, Eugenio Suarez. Way to play, I tell you. Do the Mariners need me to go be their hitting coach? What is happening here? I don't understand.
You could do it. And I really hope Ohtani's not watching this because he's going to be upset if he's not your favorite anymore.
Right. But anyway, if I go ahead and put all of those here together, it's sitting at plus 105 because I have a 3-leg parlay that is boosted by 50%. So that puts it up to plus 157. I can put a max bet out there of $25. So that $25 pays me $64.37. I did win $173 off of Tiffany's picks last night. My parlays didn't quite make it, but they're gonna today. All right. So there's my first one in Major League Baseball here, and I know that you have another one, right?
Yes, I was looking at NFL because that's ultimately my favorite.
Right.
So how should I do this? We didn't discuss this in our 4 minutes pre-show prep. Should I just say all 3 picks and then give my explanation, or should I do one team and their explanation?
I think, as we are our own creative directors on this show, it is totally up to you. You can mix it up. So like me, I went ahead and gave, each leg and a reason, but you could go ahead and do however you feel.
Okay, so I picked out 3 games from the NFL that I like this week. By 3 games, Dolphins minus 6.5.
Okay.
The Bills minus 6.5.
Oh, theme.
And then the Raiders to win. Their money line's minus 150.
Money line on that. Okay.
If you guys wanted to bet those straight, you could certainly bet those straight too. But if you do put that in a parlay, if you do it straight up, it's plus 521. MGM has 25% parlay boosts, and that gets it up to 651 if you use that too. So it's a good little bonus if you've got those. Make sure you use them.
Yes.
On MGM, they currently have a 8-bit berry promotion, so you get to play an old video game of, I don't know, and so I won my free parlay boost. Check it out.
And of course, we always love to, the games. We are the full-time gamers from the way back, playing RC Pro-Am, Blades of Steel. I mean, we can make our way through. I mean, we started with the Intellivision with the Pong. I mean, we had all the good stuff growing up.
Yeah, we had some 1950s games, I think, too, which was
that is true. It was like our dad's something. I think it was Intellivision or something.
But we learned with that one, you could like pull the trigger on the little toy gun, or you could press the controller and not be in the same room and it still works. So I'm pretty sure that the technology
won every time. It was amazing.
It was amazing.
We're so talented.
Good way to build your confidence as a child.
Right.
So back to the games. That Bills game, they're currently 5th ranked defense and they're 6th in pass defense. And I think they're going to be tough on that Commanders quarterback. He's only in his 2nd year. I
mean, if Arizona Cardinals can give him, fits.
Yeah, and then the Commanders gave up 33 points to the Broncos. So I think it's going to be a pretty easy win for the Bills, and I think they'll be able to cover that touchdown spread. So that's my Bills pick. The Steelers-Raiders game, again, neither one of those teams are like offensive powerhouses right now. I think the Steelers, I think everybody knows the Steelers only won last week because of their defense. But I think that since the Raiders have been playing really strong defenses the last 2 games, Josh Jacobs wasn't really a factor. I think he'll be able to get loose on the Steelers. And so that's why I think that Raiders are going to pull that one out. I think the line's 2.5. But I think the Raiders will be able to win that one. So that's why I'm picking that one. And then the Dolphins, I mentioned them a little bit yesterday. I'm a fan of Tua. I mean, he gets a lot of like flack and people laugh at him a little bit, but you know what? They hang in there. They currently have the first passing offense in the NFL. They're averaging 355 yards a game, and they're also getting 100 yards on the ground. So I mean, I think the Dolphins are legit. I think they really could be a contender this year.
Yeah, I mean, just think if Tua could, throw a little farther.
Like 10 yards farther, yes.
I mean, he would have hit Tyreek at least for 2 big scores there versus, the Patriots.
Waddle is questionable this week, and I'm following it closely because he is on my fantasy team. But he was in concussion protocol, so he didn't practice yesterday. That could make a difference, but when it comes to the Broncos, they got Russell Wilson. The end. So I think the Dolphins will be fine, and I think they're going to cover that 7-point that touchdown spread too.
Yeah, gotcha. Yeah, I can't help but notice about my paleness since my nephew pointed it out that he was like, Mindy, you are so pale on your shows. And I'm like, well, that's because I do have all of these big white lights in here to try to, make sure we have enough light. And then he wrote it in the comments, Mindy is pale. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you for pointing that out, sir.
Yeah. So now I'm like having to go to, Palm Beach Tan after this. And
we'll get some bronzer.
Right. Exactly. All right. So we're going to finish off the day with some more college football parlays for you. And this one I think is pretty good. I'm going to give you a bunch of underdogs. Okay, only 3, not like a total bunch. But there is a nice thing over here at BetMGM where you get parlay insurance, right? So with one of your legs wind up not losing, you go ahead and get your money back. So I'm like, hey, I like that. I feel like that's how most folks are, right? You can win 2, but we have a hard time with the 3rd. And that's why we always kind of said too in the past, maybe we should kind of take a look at hedging your bet instead of going for all the gusto, maybe covering so you don't have to, care about your losses. But in this one, hey, it covers it right there for you. Don't really have to worry about that hedge there. But this is one that has that minimum 3 legs. Again, you have to have plus 400 odds, $25 bet on this one. And again, you get your bet back if not. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at a couple matchups here for tomorrow, right? So we're only going to be here 1 p.m. Eastern. Monday through Friday. So make sure you go ahead and like and subscribe. Click on the bell so you make sure you get all of the notifications there also. But the first one here is going to be between Appalachian State and Wyoming, right? I'm going to go ahead and take Appalachian State. They are the underdogs to Wyoming. Why? I mean, I'm not really sure what the deal is with
I
that.
like Appalachian State.
I mean, I would not be surprised if App State just wins this one totally outright. I mean, Wyoming could be without Peasley here once again. He banged up his shoulder. I mean, maybe it's because they hung in with Texas there for a little bit. But Appalachian State has this big time offense. They're 44th in the nation, while Wyoming is 110. They also have the better scoring defensive efficiency. App State's 54 and Wyoming is sitting at 67. So my first leg is going to be App State plus 2.5. And if you want to go ahead and get rid of that hook and move it around, sometimes the apps will let you, sometimes not. MGM's a little bit fickle with being able to move the line around. So again, if you'd rather go ahead and move this at another, book like DraftKings, something like that, feel free.
You can usually adjust those too.
Okay, cool.
But they're tricky because they're all different. You got to figure out what's the right thing to press to make it work.
To make it go, right?
Yeah.
Next up is going to be UCLA versus Utah. I will be taking the underdog UCLA here again in this one. UCLA is 9-0 straight up in his last 9 games in September. Of course, Utah's undefeated in 16 consecutive, but might be without Cam Rising once again. So something's totally going to have to give here. But UCLA, they're 10th in scoring efficiency. Top 10, I mean, that's pretty darn good here to start the season. Utah is sitting at 73. UCLA is 7th in defensive scoring efficiency as well. So really hold their opponents to not much. And Utah, good in their own right, but sitting at 20th. So take the UCLA Bruins here, plus 4.5. And then the last one here is going to be Kansas versus BYU. Kansas is our aunt and uncle. It's their nemesis. They are Missouri fans living in Independence, Missouri. So they hate all that Kansas coverage. It cracks me up. So they were just here not so long ago visiting and loved it when Missouri beat up on K-State there as well. But we're going to be taking the BYU Cougars in this one. It's one of those that BYU probably has to try to develop a little bit of a ground game there. Kansas has also made massive strides, but suddenly it kind of seems like they're a little bit here undermatched. We saw BYU win against Arkansas on the road. I thought that was pretty good. And Kansas really couldn't put away Nevada, right? BYU is 15th in defensive efficiency here this season compared to 87 for Kansas. So, of course, the BYU Cougars can keep this one within a touchdown. Give me the Cougars at plus 8.5. So with those 3 games there, right, you can go ahead and I think that gets you up to, I have to find my notes, 611 plus 611 odds on that one there. So take UCLA, App State, and BYU.
A fun one.
Yes, it should be fun. All right, you guys. Hey, thanks for watching again. We appreciate all of the comments here. We're kind of getting used to the flow of the show. Not sure if we're going to be able to put up all the comments, but what you can definitely do is go ahead and put your comments in the actual, comment section, and I can go ahead and reply back to all of those. If you have questions on, hey, which games you like, whatever. Oh, see, Mike has one. He said, thoughts on the over-under 6.5 strikeouts for Corbin Burns. So again, that's probably one that I'm gonna have to go ahead and take a look at on that. I know that right now the Milwaukee Brewers over the last month has the best pitching staff out there, but I would kind of have to go ahead and take a look at to see how that lineup has hit against him historically. So again, Mike, I can go ahead and if you want to check back in the comment section, not in the live chat, put it in the comments and I'll be sure to respond there to all of those. All right. I don't know. You got anything else? Anything good and exciting? I know you're going to the high school football game here today where Max Duggan, where he, made all of his magic happen.
Yep. But unfortunately, not unfortunately, that was the wrong word because I am excited to go, but I'm going watch the band for the record.
Right.
Because I do have a kid in the band, so that's
Right.
and I, probably will enjoy the game more.
Exactly. All right, you guys, we will be. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
It'll be fun.
It will be fun. Exactly. Except it's kind of raining, so I think I see the sun kind of peeking out. So hopefully that kind of goes away. All right, you guys, take care. We'll see you back here on Monday again, 1 p.m. Eastern. You will catch us here. We're going to give you all of the best props and parlays, same game parlays, so you can use those on your apps. Because again, we're moving forward with Tony's picks to getting updated lines where we can do the props, where we can do these parlays. So we want to, show you guys, that we can get the job done when we give you our best plays over there at Tony's picks. But Tiffany, I think you have some packages up there at Tony's site. What do you got?
Yes, I've always got a 3-pack. I got some baseball out there for you today, if you'd like to go check that out. And what is the discount code, Tony T?
It's Tony T at checkout. So make sure you use that. We got you guys some winners out there yesterday. We did see some folks use the discount. It's the discount promo code. It's something that we only give here, right? Out on the YouTube channel. So we do appreciate you guys that are out there watching when you purchase our packages. So thank you so much for that. I as well have a 3-pack of Major League Baseball. I will be putting up one play in college football here for tonight. I think Tiffany gave out her favorites there on the slate.
Buy the packages so Mindy can get a tan. I'm terrible. All right,
you guys. Have a good day.
Have a great
weekend. We appreciate you guys checking out our new show. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.